A.E Housman, or Alfred Edward Housman, was one of the few notorious poets during the Victorian era. He has written a number of collections and poems throughout his life. Housman has went on to inspire many and has even taken on his own unique style of writing, which people couldn't get enough of. Housman was born on March 26, 1859. He was born in Foxbury, England. Housman was born into a rather large family, having about 6 siblings. Despite having so many members, Housman still developed a very strong relationship with his mother at such a young age. Unfortunately, that was soon taken from him with her death. She died when she was only 12 to cancer. Many would credit Housman's grief and depression in his writing style towards this event, and we can even see it in his works. Housman started at King Edward's School, where he developed his interest in academic studies and poetry. He took his education further to Oxford, where he obtained a scholarship to study classics at St. John's College. He focused on textual analysis and properties. He did exceptionally well until he came face to face with rejection. After being denied by his love interest, he faced depression and the feeling of alone. This had a rather large impact on A.E Housman. He managed to fail his finals, but he still passed and graduated for a lesser degree. For about a decade, he worked at Coleridge in a patent office. He still continued his writings and wrote scholarly articles and journals, and branched into Latin. He became a Latin professor at University College, but he returned back to poetry after the death of his lifelong love interest, Adelbert Jackson. He wrote a total of 63 poems, all falling under the topic of grief, death, pessimism, and rejection. This went on to be his most successful works, A Surefire Lad. This doesn't mean it was easy for him. He faced a number of rejections from publishers, but that didn't stop there, because he ended up paying out of his own pocket for publishing. Did not receive immediate recognition, but blew up as England began to feel the repercussions of World War I. Housman's second book was written and put together for Moses Jackson, Adelbert's brother. Moses was dying, so Housman wanted to write him, and he titled it Last Poems. It was an immediate success after being published in 1922. Housman spent the rest of his years in Cambridge, where he died in his sleep in a resting home. He passed away April 30th, 1936. He was buried in Ludlow, England. While Last Poems was the last volume of poetry published by him, a third and final book was released by his brother, called More Poems. Lawrence also released a complete collection of Housman works. Numerous works have been named after or otherwise inspired by A.E Housman. His first volume was Surefire Lad, which included the famous To an Athlete Dying Young, Loveliest of Trees, the Cherry Now, which was mainly centered around loneliness, which was what he experienced at the time. He then went on to publish an author and multi-volumes edition of the works of Marcus Manilius. Marcus was a 1st century Roman astronomer, and many people noticed Housman and had a greater interest and appreciation for him. We see Housman reflect the mood of his era as we're going through the Panic of 1873, which was a financial crisis turned to depression in Europe and spread to North America until 1879, except Britain until 1896. Many poets focus depression as a subject in their works, including Housman. We also see Housman's dark themes, which we could describe in England at the time. There was a major increase in poverty and crime. England also had child labor, unfair factory treatment, and the economy was derailed. It was a time for troubles.